My name is Zach Ellis, and welcome to my journey. I don't know where I'm going or how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to be tearing shit up every step of the way, along with a few friends, of course. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be building, modifying, repairing, fabricating, and racing every chance I get. But if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, and of course, enjoy the video. What's up, guys? Back out here at the garage messing with the SRT4 again. Today we're going to be doing just a little bit of routine maintenance on the car. The two things I want to do is spark plugs and transmission fluid. The main reason for both of them is the spark plug. So lately the car has been, I don't want to say struggling to start, but it turns over a little bit more than typical. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the spark plugs. It's been about a year since I've replaced them. The other thing, like I said, was transmission fluid. Currently what I'm running in there is the high mileage Mobil 1 engine oil. I haven't seen any signs of it wearing on the car. The car shifts completely fine. When it's cold, it's a little clunky, but once it gets up to temperature, you drive for a minute or two, it shifts completely smooth. But I'm going to go ahead and use the manufacturer recommended ATF+4 with the limited slip additive, and we'll see how that affects the car. I'm sure it's not going to hurt the car any. If the engine oil didn't hurt it, I can't see the manufacturer recommended oil hurting it at all. So we're going to go ahead, hop in the car, and we're going to head over to the Dodge dealership, get everything we need. Got all our stuff. Put this shit down real quick. So we got, let's see, some Iridium Ultra spark plugs. The only reason I'm going with these is it's what the auto parts store had, and the car is stock. It has no tune on it. It's stock turbo, stock tune. So I figured any spark plug is going to be fine. And then we got ATF4. I got 4 quarts of it. I only need 3, but 1 to just be safe. And then limited slip additive. Altogether, 4 quarts of the trans fluid and the limited slip was like $53. This was $8, and then these were, I think, $11 a piece, and then tax. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing jacked up, and we'll start draining the fluid while it's warm. And then once we get the fluid changed, then we'll do the spark plugs. Alright, cool. Now that we got the car up in the air, we're going to go ahead, hop underneath the car, locate the fill and the drain plug. Typically, you would want to remove the fill plug before the drain plug. This is because, say you drain the fluid out of the trans or the diff or whatever it is you're working on. You drain the fluid and then the fill plug is stripped or whatever's wrong with it, you can't get it removed. Now you're stuck with an empty diff or trans and you can't get fluid back in. The unique thing with the SRT4, well, I don't want to say unique, but the thing with the SRT4 is the fill plug is just a rubber grommet, so there's really no chance of it getting stuck. So we're still going to remove that fill plug first, and the main reason we're going to do that today is so that when you drain the fluid, it doesn't want to gulp out. It just flows out in one steady stream. All right, now that we're under the car, first thing you want to do is locate the fill plug. So there is the fill plug. Here's the front wheel. Fill plug is right inside the wheel well. You're going to want to use some flat pliers, something that doesn't have sharp teeth, mainly because the teeth could damage that fill plug. You just want to tug on it to get it out. You see a little bit of fluid dripping out. That's probably just because of the lift. It's not sitting on the ground, so the car is not completely level, which is all right. Let it drip out. I just got a pan here to collect some of it. Once that's done dripping, or at least slows down a little bit, we'll go ahead and drain the fluid completely, and then we'll start adding. Alright, now that we got the trans fluid all added to it, we're going to go ahead and do the spark plugs before we drop the car down on the ground. Pretty straightforward job. Pop all the boots off, use your spark plug socket to remove the old spark plugs and install the new ones. I have already gapped all the spark plugs to factory spec, again because my car is stock turbo, stock tune. The only power adders is downpipe and cold air intake, so no reason for me to change the plug gap. You go bigger turbo, usually you're going to have to change your spark, maybe close it up a little bit. But we're going to go ahead, swap them out, and we'll test drive the car. Got the trans fluid changed, we've got the new spark plugs installed. I'm going to go ahead and start the car up, let it idle for a little bit just to make sure everything's running the way it should, and then we'll lower it down and take it for a test run. So car started up instantly like I wanted to hear, and then I just put it in first gear and let it roll a little bit. I'm gonna drop the car down, make sure the fluid level is correct in the trans, and we'll go for a test spin real quick. It's like 98% humidity out right now. Drives normal. Super anticlimactic, which is exactly what you want after doing maintenance to a car, I would say. The transmission shifts just fine. We'll probably just drive down to the nearest Wawa. It's like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes down the road. I'm gonna get me some lunch since it's almost 1:30, and then we'll make our way back to the garage. I'm stuck behind a truck, if you can see that. Alright, we'll do a little pull here to see how she runs. Runs great. I don't know how you can't just love the sound of the SRT4. Sounds so good. So good. Alright, so we finished the test drive. The car ran completely fine. In my honest opinion, the Mobil 1 engine oil that people run in this car, or that people run in the transmissions on these cars, I didn't notice any issues with it. Like I said, I ran it for a year. The car ran completely fine. I now am running the Mopar ATF+4 with the limited slip additive in there, and it runs exactly the same as it did before. Maybe the engine oil has a negative long-term effect, but after a year driving and racing, so probably like 14,000, 10,000 miles, something like that, I noticed no issues with the car. So in my opinion, I don't think it really makes a difference. Your best bet's probably just to run what the factory recommends. So that's what I'm going to do from here out. If the oil is cheap, or the trans fluid is cheap, why not run it? This change here cost me less than $50, or around $50, I guess, and I got one extra quart. So you're looking at like $40 for a whole trans flush, that's nothing, honestly, especially considering if you don't change the fluid or run the incorrect fluid, maybe for a duration, it could cause damage to the internals of the transmission. So like I said, my recommendation, just run the factory recommended. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. Hopefully you learned something out of this. If not, I don't know, you can let me know in the comment section below. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, and of course subscribe to the channel so you can be tuned in for future videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.